If you're a true Liverpool fan, subscribe to Anfield Signal.
Jamie Carragher issues Arne Slot brutal reality check over Liverpool's sad new normal. Jamie Carragher has issued a stark warning to Arne Slot, suggesting his position could be untenable by the season's end if he fails to reverse Liverpool's slump. Slot finds himself under renewed scrutiny following his side's 1-0 defeat by Galatasaray in the first leg of their Champions League Last 16 clash on Tuesday evening. An early header from Mario Lemina proved decisive for the Turkish outfit, which secured its second 1-0 victory over Liverpool this campaign, having triumphed by the same margin back in September. The Reds now face the task of overturning this deficit in next week's home leg to progress to the quarterfinals. Slot accepted culpability for Liverpool's shortcomings after the match, whilst Carragher delivered a damning verdict on the team's display and predicted the Reds' elimination in the subsequent round. This was an end-to-end game that was a bad game in the end for Liverpool. Bad result, really poor in the second half as well, he said on CBS Sports. First half started well. A lot of that was to do with the mistakes of Galatasaray. I don't think Galatasaray had a great team. It's still a team Liverpool should beat and should go through. So I'm still 98%. It was 99 a couple of weeks ago, so I still think Liverpool will go through, but this is a worry for the manager and the team. What we saw tonight is what we saw in early on in the group stages away to Galatasaray early on in the season. This team is just a million miles off where it was supposed to be this season, which was that we'd be talking about them in the same light the way we speak about Bayern Munich right now. That was the whole point of Liverpool spending over £400 million in the summer, was to go the next step from winning the Premier League to go and win the Champions League. And we're talking about a team who have now got to change a deficit against Galatasaray, which I think they will, but I don't have any hope for Liverpool going any further than that if it's Paris Saint-Germain in the next round, as I think it may be, and that for me is a big worry. Liverpool sits 6th in the Premier League table following its loss to bottom-placed Wolves last week. The club's title defense has long since collapsed, and while Carragher places considerable blame on the players, he believes it is Slot who could ultimately face the consequences. It's not just a defeat. I think the performances from Liverpool this season are a big worry for the manager. Carragher said, "I think I said on this show in the group stage he's got to do something. He's got to change something. He's tried everything, really, in lots of different ways, but nothing seems to be able to work, and it's just at no stage this season have I ever felt Liverpool were in control of a football match. It's either end-to-end basketball, so he wanted to stop that and change that, and then it becomes slow and boring and predictable. Do I think another manager could come in straight away, or any manager, say you give him that squad? I don't think it dramatically changes. I really do think the makeup of the squad, how it's been put together, the lack of options in certain areas, is a big problem as well. So it's not just all about the manager, but as we know, managers carry the can." Liverpool on red alert as Julian Alvarez casts doubt over Atletico Madrid future. Julian Alvarez has refused to guarantee his future at Atletico Madrid beyond this season, as several clubs, including Arsenal, monitor the former Manchester City striker's situation. Julian Alvarez has left the door ajar for a potential summer move after declining to confirm he'll remain at Atletico Madrid beyond the current campaign. The former Manchester City forward netted twice on Tuesday as Diego Simeone's side demolished Tottenham at the Wanda Metropolitano in the Champions League Last 16. Following the 7-goal thriller, Alvarez, who was attracting interest from Arsenal and Barcelona, was questioned about his future at Atletico next season. While Arsenal and Barcelona are the two teams most linked with Alvarez right now, Liverpool has reportedly been interested in the striker in recent times. Alvarez replied when questioned about his future, "I don't know, but maybe yes, maybe no. You never know, but I'm very happy here. You ask me a question that will end up all over the place, but I'm happy. I'm thinking about the day-to-day. I'm working to improve, to give my best here. I never said anything bad about the club. I'm very grateful. The people also showed me their affection, so I'm very happy." Alvarez, however, refused to be drawn on reports linking him with Barcelona, adding, "I have nothing to say. These are things that are said on social media. A lot of things are said, but everyone posts their opinion, and it just snowballs. I'm happy here, very content, and competing in all the competitions. Arsenal has been monitoring the 26-year-old since his spell at Manchester City, and the Gunners are prepared to explore as summer approach if the Argentine becomes available. But they are unlikely to be the only club interested, as Joan Laporta has already indicated he will pursue a deal for Alvarez if he is re-elected as Barcelona president. Laporta recently told Catalan radio, "Julian Alvarez is not a player who will break the bank. He's an excellent player who, they say, would fit perfectly into Barca's system, but he's not a player you have to pay a fortune for. First, he should demonstrate his willingness to come, which is what we want from all the players who might interest us, and it should be at a reasonable price. Then it could be considered. But, given his current demands, they're out of line." Alvarez's representative, Fernando Hidalgo, has repeatedly denied being in discussions with any club about his client, who joined Atletico in August 2024. Spanish media reports in early February suggested Hidalgo had been in London and even watched Arsenal's 1-0 Carabao Cup semi-final triumph over Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium. The player's deal with Atletico runs until the summer of 2030. Virgil van Dijk hits out at crazy Liverpool VAR controversy versus Galatasaray. Liverpool lost 1-0 to Galatasaray in the Champions League last 16 first leg on Tuesday, and Virgil van Dijk and Arne Slot were not happy with the officiating during the game. Virgil van Dijk was critical of the officiating during Liverpool's Champions League defeat by Galatasaray on Tuesday. The Reds lost 1-0 in Istanbul for the second time this season, as a Mario Lemina header secured Galatasaray a 1-goal lead heading into next week's last 16 second leg. It was a difficult night for Arne Slot's men, who had Georgi Mamardashvili to thank for restricting the home side to a single goal. Both teams had a goal disallowed in the second half, with Galatasaray striker Victor Osimhen having to cut his celebrations short due to an offside in the build-up. Liverpool, meanwhile, saw an equalizer from a corner chalked off after a VAR review showed that the ball had struck Ibrahima Konaté's goal. Van Dijk, though, felt as though his team should have been awarded a penalty in the same move, irrespective of what happened with Konaté. "I think I'm pulled back like crazy, and he's not giving a penalty for that, and he's given a foul for every slight touch in the box the other way," said Van Dijk of referee Jesus Gil Manzano, who was also criticized by Reds boss Slot after the match. "The matter of fact is it was disallowed, no penalty, foul's been given plenty of times, and that's something we have to deal with." Reds boss Slot also had his say on the incident, expressing his surprise at his side not being awarded a penalty, particularly because of the harsher refereeing standards that are usually enforced in Europe. "In the Premier League, there's much more allowed than in the Champions League," Slot said. "That's why I was so surprised it wasn't a penalty. In all the other incidents where he thought he saw something when we made a foul and was so fast to blow his whistle and give Galatasaray a free kick. Then it was really surprising the same referee in another incident when they make the foul says he's going to accept this completely. But if you look overall at the 90 minutes, don't think I can be surprised by that decision. Every free kick and corner kick we took, even if we just looked at a Galatasaray player, the referee already gave a free kick for Galatasaray. If you then look at how much they pulled Virgil's shirt before the ball hit Ibu's arm, then it's safe to say we weren't the only ones impressed by the atmosphere here today."